welcome you to this broadcast from Canada. My name is Sandra Asante. Today we'll be pondering upon the fleeing for fear of new ethnic conflict, as well as the question and answers by the Amhara leader concerning defending the land. So stay tuned, I'll be back after a break. You're welcome back. Thank you so much for staying with me. We'll start with the ethnic conflict. And almost every night, a handful of young men slip across the well-guarded border, swimming across a fast-flowing brown river and trudging into Sudan to escape what they say is a sudden upsurge in ethnic violence in the far western corner of Ethiopia's Tigray region. This fertile area, still held by soldiers and militias loyal to Ethiopia's federal government, is now seen as a likely next target for Tigray's forces fighters as they seek to strengthen their control over the region and secure a potentially crucial supply route into neighboring Sudan. The conflict in Tigray is now showing dangerous signs of transforming into a more widespread ethnic conflict that could suck in other parts of Ethiopia. They gave us 2 days to leave or we would be killed, said an 18-year-old Tigrayan who just crossed the river with 3 school friends and asked for his identity to be hidden to protect relatives still living inside Ethiopia. He accused soldiers from a nearby region in Amhara, who currently control the key border town of Humera, of targeting Tigrayan men of fighting age. There are many reports that Amhara conscripts and volunteers are now being rushed to reinforce the area, along with other militia forces from different parts of the country, including Oromia and Sidama. Amhara militia are going door to door. If they know you are Tigrayan, they will kill or arrest you. We feel bad because it is a country. Anyone who can escape is fleeing, said another teenager, speaking eagerly one morning in the isolated Sudanese border town in Hadayat, just across the border from Humera. The BBC spoke to 8 people who left Humera in recent days and told similar stories of ethnic cleansing, but with full lines inside Tigray cut, it has been difficult to seek independent confirmation. The Ethiopian government has meanwhile indicated that it may end its unilateral ceasefire in Tigray, blaming provocations by the forces and appear to be mobilizing more troops from different regions. Warning of imminent battling. Warnings of imminent battle. Surrounded by muddy fields and now buffeted nightly by spectator summer storms, Hadayat has become a transit point for thousands of Tigrayan refugees and almost certain for forces fighters too, who cross in and out of the town, sometimes slipping through nearby Eritrea. The flow of refugees has slowed in recent months. It began last November when the conflict in Tigray first erupted between forces loyal to the regional government and Ethiopian federal state. Some 50,000 refugees are currently sheltering in Sudanese camps close to the border, often in grim conditions as the rainy season set in and their makeshift tents are repeatedly broken by fierce wind. The UN Refugee Agency has faced growing criticisms about the humanitarian situation in the camps. Multiple security and intelligence sources in the region told BBC that the upsurge of ethnic violence inside Tigray, particularly in and around Humera, was a sign of a major battle that could be imminent. After its speculated recent successes further south and east, the Tigray Defense Forces are widely expected to try to seize all of the western Tigray before the rain cut off much access. But the town lies in disputed territory long claimed by the ethnic Amharas, who took control, of the area soon after the Tigray conflict began. The concern is that an escalating conflict here will further inflame the ethnic tensions in Ethiopia and could also fuel instability in Sudan and Eritrea as well. It is going to go on, the war for sure. The Amhara and the Tigray people used to be as brothers and sisters, but we are not giving up our land, so the bloodshed is going to continue, said a bank worker and mother of two who recently arrived in Hamdayat and also asked her name to be withheld. War is inevitable. There is a new surge of mass arrest by Amhara militia. It is an ethnic cleansing. They say the forceful eviction of the Tigrayans from Western Tigray is getting intense right now, said Tewodros Tefera, the surgeon who fled across the border in Sudan last year and now runs a tiny clinic serving thousands of refugees and local Hamdayat. Like many Tigrayan refugees, Dr. Tewodros now appears committed to the idea of complete break from the Ethiopia full independence for Tigray. Thinking of being an Ethiopian now is gone. I don't want to be in the same category with these people that have raped my sisters, that have killed my brothers and sisters. So the idea of holding the same passport is gone, he concluded. Now let's look at the question and answers with the Amhara leaders, which is due to defending the land. So Baherda, Ethiopian Tigrayan fighters, this week launched a new offensive along the southern border area with Amhara region to retake territories they say were seized by Amhara fighters during the ongoing war in Ethiopia's northernmost region of Tigray. The 8-month conflict has pit the Ethiopian army and its allied Eritrean troops and fighters from Ethiopia's next-door Amhara region against forces loyal to the region's former governing party, the Tigray People's Liberation Front, TPLF. The Tigrayan fighters, rebranded recently as the Tigray Defense Forces, the TDF, retook the regional capital, Mekelle, in last June. Federal troops have since withdrawn from much of Tigray, and the government in Addis Ababa declared a unilateral ceasefire. But Amhara forces say they will hold on to disputed territories in the western and southern Tigray. Al Jazeera spoke to Fanta Maderov, deputy president of the Amhara region, who said additional Amhara special forces has been deployed to the borders to defend their land and people. The interview below has slightly been edited for brevity and clarity. So we start with Al Jazeera's question to the leader. It says the TDF is pushing southward and eastward, taking key towns such as Kerem, Alamata, and Raya. They say they are reclaiming their land. What is your reaction? This is what Fantana Manderfo said. The Amhara regional government is defending its people against the aggression of TPLF, which has opened an aggressive war that is targeting civilians with the objective of ethnic cleansing. That is not true. In response to this, the Amhara regional government is defending its people and calling upon people to defend themselves in their own villages to stand against the aggression, not to be victims of such atrocities. We all know this is not true. So Al Jazeera will move on with another question and says, so are you calling on civilians to take up arms? And this is what Fanta said. Yes, just to protect themselves. Meanwhile, meaning in their own village, they have to be aware they should not be victims. They are not armed in any way. In some places, they have been pushed out of their homes. People who fled the atrocities are witnessing this. Al Jazeera went on to ask, how can they defend themselves? And Fanta replied, they should be aware, and whenever the aggression comes, they have to prepare in any way to defend themselves using mechanisms they have. A sad moment for civilians. This is the planting season and people are forced to evacuate from farms and villages. Another question follows. Does this call for civilians to take up arms effectively means the ceasefire is over? Fanta replied, no. The federal government declared a ceasefire and moved out of Tigray. But now TPLF forces are invading southwards and committing atrocities. So it is not legitimate for our region, now government, to sit down and when our people are persecuted, indefinitely pushed out of their villages, when they are displaced, when infrastructure is damaged. The unilateral ceasefire is not broken, but that does not mean our regional government will sit simply when our people are displaced and killed. We have never gone single inch into Tigray side. We are defending our land. They are claiming to defend the land, though, that we all know that it's untrue. So the Al Jazeera went forward with another question. The TPLF will dispute this. Will they say Tigrayan territories officially recognized and mapped? They say Amara forces use conflict to seize Tigrayan land. We are actually talking about the last 30 years. The Amara people never endorsed the annexation back then. We were never consulted. The land was taken unilaterally by the TPLF, and it's not just about land. We also talking about the freedom of our people, the people who have been prosecuted for 30 years, eliminated, face ethnic cleansing. This is what happened in Kayat, the Western Tigray, Raya, Southern Tigray, and so many other places. They eliminated our people and settled their own people. They are just claiming all this fact, but this is where we end today's editorial. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Sandra Asante. I'll see you some other time.